Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Carla. Today I'm going to be talking you through my week 8 results of my postpartum weight loss and mental health journey. This week is definitely going to be focusing on the mental health aspect of my journey because that's what has been troubling me or what has flared up over the last week. If you're one of the new people that's here, I'll leave up in this corner, I think. Hopefully I got that right. I will leave a link to my playlist about my postpartum journey, what I'm doing, and I have a recap like this for kind of like a weigh-in Wednesday every single week. So if you want to check those out, go check out that playlist. But today I'm going to just jump right in and talk to you about the results. And I'm actually really glad that this result has happened this week, which I know is going to sound really strange and I'm actually smiling about it. But I perceive that there can be a judgment of people that weight loss influencers, content creators, whatever you want to call us, only lose weight, we just drop it. Like we're the lucky ones who always lose and, basically I think people project their fear and that, I'm not one of those people who can lose every week and they are. But I want to tell you that we are real people. Weight loss is not linear. Weight loss, you want it to go like this, but weight loss will go like this the whole way down. And this week, my result is I have a gain. I have a gain of 0.8 of a pound or 400 grams. Do I think then that has, what I don't do when I have a gain is I don't now go and say, okay, well, I haven't lost the 16.5 pounds from before. I now have only lost 15.7. That's not how, I'm actually really impressed with that maths, by the way. That's not what I see. I see that I have still lost the 16.8 because I know that or 16.5 pounds, because I know that is my fat loss. And what has happened this week, this gain is not fat. It's water or bloating because I have my period. When a person who experiences menstrual cycles has them, their hormones can make them gain weight, hold water. They might need to go to the toilet more, or they might not be able to go to the toilet as much in some cases. And that's just what that is. I know that I have done everything right for this week. I have been on my walking, I have been on and counting every single thing and weighing in the kitchen everything that I've put into me, but I have a gain. That's what it is. And that's just part of weight loss. So I'm actually really glad that I've experienced one of these gains during this recorded journey because I did have some of my first one. It was very few and they kind of always regulated out by weigh-in Wednesday, whereas this one, for example, I had to, I weighed myself yesterday morning because I thought I wouldn't have access to my scales this morning. And yesterday morning, I was actually up by 800 grams as opposed to 400. So I would have put on 1.6 pounds. So I've lost, I know I haven't lost 1.6 pounds, or I haven't lost 0.8 of a pound since yesterday. That's water, it's not fat. So just to let you know, that I am just human and this is my body and this is what it does. So they are my results for the week. My feeling this week today, I'm going to use the word better. And the reason I'm using better is because it has been a somewhat challenging week for me. As I said earlier, I don't care whether people think it's TMI. I think we're way past that. We're all friends here anyway, but I had my period this week. And while it is actually a period that was nearly 2 weeks overdue because of, this is only my second one since having my baby. And thus, It was a little bit more intense than previous to having a baby, and I definitely feel like I am bloating. But I didn't have any, well, I have a little bit of bloating, but I'm not, it was interesting was that my PMS was purely psychological. I did not get one single cramp, not one. I had like a flicker, and I was like, oh, I must be getting my period. That's weird. But like nothing else. And I think that that's really to do with like being on eating really, really well and exercising regularly, because when I was on my weight loss journey, my PMS symptoms like just completely reduced themselves. However, I will say that my psychological feelings haven't been so good this week, and not in terms of I haven't felt depressed. And if you don't know, I did have a battle with postnatal depression, and that's kind of part of why I'm doing this whole journey, is because I want to feel as good as I did before. So this is my second period since I've had my son, as I said, and with that, the first one, I definitely felt the drop in hormones, the drop not feeling so good, or drop or increase, I'm not sure which one. And this is the same now, is that I definitely felt a difference in a shift in my mood. I started back with body slims on Wednesday, and I was in such a great mood, totally motivated, really feeling very good. Body slims restarted on Wednesday, and I just felt so good. I was so motivated. I was so in the zone, really just feeling like gung-ho, I got this. Like, you saw my pep in my step. I recorded my last week's video straight after after my weigh-in. Like, you guys know, it was the same day. I felt really good. I was really motivated. Thursday felt the same. Friday, I could definitely feel a dip. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And over the weekend, I had a dip in my mood. And the dip wasn't necessarily like down to depression, but it was just kind of flat. I just felt a bit meh for a good few days. So over that weekend, the observations that I made about myself is that, yes, okay, my mood is definitely flatter than it would be. So what am I going to do now in order, like I talk a lot on these recaps about what I'm doing for the weight loss aspect, but I think that what's really important is the mental health aspect. And as I had been feeling so good, I hadn't really delved into that much with you guys, but I want to do that now. And in terms of my observations, and what I did is that I practice, as you probably know, showing up for yourself is like my motto. It's my tagline. It is what I want to do all the time. It's how I lost my weight and pulled myself out of lifelong obesity. I showed up for myself because I felt I was worth it. And that's what I wanted to do now, was for this journey, is I wanted to show up for myself in terms of my mental health. So I asked for help. I asked my partner if he could take my son and mind him for a couple of hours. We live together. By the way, we're not separated. I know it makes it sound like we're separated. We're not. I just asked him, could he take him on Sunday morning? Because I was feeling very overwhelmed with the tasks that I had to do, and I couldn't get my head straight. And I needed a couple of hours to myself in order to just work through some stuff and get my head get my ducks in a row. And he did that. So reaching out and asking for help is a way that I show up for myself. I also practice self-compassion. And instead of berating myself, so I noticed that over the weekend, my walks got slower. I wasn't as fast as I had been the previous week. And instead of saying, oh God, you're so slow, you're lazy, why are you not being fast? I practice self-compassion. So instead of berating myself, I look at myself and I go, okay, I am quite hormonal. I am obviously having some kind of effect on my physical being because I'm feeling sluggish. I'm not feeling as good as I would be feeling normally. So I'm going to be kind to myself and say, okay, we're going for our walk. We're going to do it, but we're not going to push for personal best time. I'm not pushing anything. I am just doing and going, showing up for myself by walking for my mental health to continue to make sure that I get out and feel good, which I did, but not pushing myself for that time or to make sure that I got to a certain distance in a certain time. I did my route and I enjoyed it. And that's something that's a version of showing up for myself. By Monday, I definitely started to feel better, thankfully. And yesterday I felt like I was back to my old self. And today, again, I just feel much, much better. A little bit sleep deprived, but you know, I have a newborn, so that's a whole different kettle of fish, isn't it? But I'm definitely feeling much, much better. And instead of shaming myself and berating myself, I have a lovely relationship with myself now where I understand. And that's, you know, I really appreciate that I was able to do that for myself this weekend and go, okay, you're having a tough time. You know, this is a bit harder. You're feeling flat. You're not as motivated. You're still doing what you need to do. You're doing your walks. You're eating within your calorie limit. You are practicing self-compassion, and that's all that matters. It's not berating myself if I'm not able or not feeling it that day. And that's something that I really want to pass on to all of you, is if there is a day that you're feeling off, or a couple of days or a week, that's okay. Still try to do what you can do, but understand why you feel like that and practice self-compassion, because you know, we're all really compassionate to other people, but to ourselves, we tend to be the bottom of the totem pole. So, you know, try for yourself to be self-compassionate. Last week, I spoke to you about something that I wanted to do for myself. And that was that I wanted to improve my confidence in wearing certain outfits outside. As I said, I'll leave that video linked up here. When I was fitting into my goal wardrobe, we were still in lockdown, so I didn't really get to wear all of my kind of more out there clothes. I always only wore black and clothes that fit me when I was obese. But now I have a much more inclusive wardrobe of patterns and color, and I still love black and I will always love black, but you know, like I just like to wear different things now, like this. And I decided that I wanted to try on a pair of jeans and see what they were like on me now. And as opposed to worrying about what other people thought, again, practice self-compassion. It's like, you've had a baby, you are losing weight, you're going to put your jeans on. If they fit, you're going out in them. And I did. This is the first time now, I'll leave somewhere here a photograph of me wearing them. It's the first time that I've worn something that hasn't hidden my C-section area. Like I haven't worn a top over my belly, basically, since before I was pregnant. So it's scary for me to do that, but actually I'm really glad that I did, and I know that I looked good. I got over myself. Yes, I'm not as smooth as I would want to be, but my jeans fit. They're size 12 from Zara, you know, like good for me. They fit and they look good. And also I bought a new dress, this one that I'm wearing. It's colorful, it's short, and I wore it out on Saturday with my partner and my baby. We went out for the day and I wore it out and I felt really good. I felt really confident in myself. So I'm really proud of myself for pushing myself a little bit. Even though I wasn't feeling great mentally, I pushed myself a little bit in other ways, as opposed to like with exercise or diet. Just breaking out of my comfort zone a little bit and to wear something. And I know that might seem frivolous to other people, but to me, that's been really impactful. It's just shown that, yes, you can do this. Yes, this is your style. Own it, go out, be in it, enjoy it, because I worked hard for it. Guys, I am going to end this video here because I have been talking to you for nearly 17 minutes and I'm really sorry. I try to keep these short. I hope you guys don't mind. If you've made it to the end, please leave me a flower emoji down the bottom for the flowers in my dress. And please let me know how you guys are doing. If you are on Body Slims, let me know how you got on this first week and how you're feeling about it, because the feeling and how you're feeling in yourself is the most important thing. I will be back to you with a new video on Wednesday. Please always check that with me. Subscribe, like this video, comment down below, turn on the notifications, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, all of the